Guys, I woke up this morning to this horrible, horrific story that shook me to my core. And I'm going to be honest, I'm shaking with anger because we now live in a world where there is state-sanctioned suicide. This was not compassion for this girl, it was pure evil. Her name was Noelia Castillo Ramos and she was 25 years old. And yesterday, the Spanish state administered 3 lethal chemical substances and ended her life. She was mentally ill and suicidal and a vulnerable victim of sexual assault that never received justice. And 2 doctors signed her death warrant against her family's desperate attempt to save her. I used to work as a paramedic, and when we were called to suicidal patients, there was one thing that we knew: that the patients did not have competency and capacity to consent, and that this is the legal and medical standard. Noelia was suicidal and mentally ill, and the state approved for her application of euthanasia anyway. When these euthanasia laws came in, they were sold to us as mercy for the terminally ill, for people with tremendous physical agony, with no hope. But Noelia was not dying of cancer. She was 25 years old and she was depressed with back pain. This is exactly the slippery slope that the church has warned us of for many, many years. The Nazi T4 program is the documented historical precedent of state-sanctioned killing of disabled and mentally ill people. The Nuremberg trials have taught us that no doctor has a right to decide which life is worth living. And we're now down that road again with euthanasia. I want to be clear. I'm not saying that Noelia did not suffer. She suffered enormously. What I'm saying that her life was not worthless and her suffering was not meaningless. The Catholic Church teaches us that every human being carries the image and likeness of God, and that dignity cannot be taken away by illness, by trauma, or by pain. Noelia needed justice for what was done to her. She needed treatment. She needed someone to walk with her in the darkness, to love her, and refused to leave. Instead, the system that had failed her since childhood failed her one last time and called it mercy. This is repugnant and a gross moral failure of humanity to allow such an atrocity to occur and then to try to gaslight us into believing that this was somehow compassionate. In her last days, Noelia said, "I have always felt alone. No one has ever empathized with me." She was not asking for death. She was asking for presence and love. Rest in peace, Noelia. The world failed you, but God did not. And may you rest in peace. Noelia's story shows us the evil world that we live in and the desperate need for the gospel of peace to come upon the world, for human dignity to be restored. And this is where it happens in the Catholic Church. God bless you and see you in the next video. Pater noster,